we were able to create something historic. And I really think people are sleeping on it. I really think people are sleeping on what we were able to create with Legends Fest, for it to be an award-winning festival in 2 years, especially going against some of the festivals that it went against for that title. Some of the festivals that have had tenure. Man, I mean, our region is known for some of these festivals, man, and we were able to like come in and make a name for ourselves, right? Look, I think it's really important to keep in context what's actually happening right now in real time. I think sometimes like we see history happening and we're like, oh, yo, that's cool. And we don't realize what is actually happening. Legends Fest is historic. It is the first music festival in the history of St. James Parish. It is the first festival of any sort on the west bank of St. James Parish in Vacherie, Louisiana, which is my hometown. And we're growing, you know. We're growing tremendously, you know, in attendance, but and we hope to continue growing in attendance this year, but just in recognition, but more importantly in impact, right? I'm seeing kids talk about Legends Fest as if like, yo, this is a big thing, which it is. Like, it's a big deal, you know. Look, I'm performing at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival this upcoming weekend, and I'm not exactly sure what year they're in, but I know it's been a long time. Like, they've been around for a while. I think I may have seen like 60 years or something like that. And now, you know, Jazz Fest is attracting the top talent in the world, you know, bringing people from all over the world to their stages. And look, I'm not sure all of the history of Jazz Fest, but look, I'm more than sure there was a time where Jazz Fest was not even close to being as big as it is today, right? Probably as little as 30 years ago, my lifetime, you know, it wasn't close to being as big as it is currently. So, you know, a lot of times when I'm thinking about Legends Fest, I'm thinking about even beyond my lifespan, like beyond my performing days, right? Of course, when it was created, it's in my prime, right? It's in the time where, yo, I'm putting out music, I'm doing these shows, I'm, you know, recording actively. But there's gonna be a time where Legends Fest happens. There's no time soon, but 1 year, Legends Fest is gonna happen, and I'm not gonna perform. You know, that's a proud thing, to create something that's so impactful, but is legitimately much bigger than you know. So I'm excited for what we've been able to do. I was just telling somebody today, I had a meeting, man. I don't have the luxury of not constantly innovating and being creative, because we don't have that tenure, right? We don't have like sponsors can't wait to sponsor the festival. Like, we got to innovate. We got to consistently innovate. We got to work day in and day out to make sure that this festival happens, man. And, you know, I definitely think about what this is going to look like in 5 to 10 years, right? We're already at year 3. I remember when I first made the announcement. I'll never forget, January 17th, 2023. I made the announcement for Legends Fest, the first one, the inaugural Legends Fest, man. And there was so much excitement around it. People didn't even know what it was gonna be. Like, they thought it was gonna be like maybe a little concert pop-up shop. And, you know, fast forward 2 years and some change, we have an award-winning music festival that brings people together. We don't have You know, anything crazy going on, we promoting realness, we promoting positivity. You know what I'm saying? We got dope artists, people who, you know, people haven't really heard of, right? And that's another thing that sometimes I deal with, people wanting me to go and get known artists and, you know, try to build a budget for known artists. And I'm like, yo, while that is dope, while that would be pretty cool, I often think about, yo, how many opportunities would I not have had if the organizers of whatever event that I performed at only wanted known artists, you know? So we go out and we look for artists who maybe are not known, but they dope and they working. You know what I'm saying? They dope and they working hard. Like, that's what I care about, because we've seen, like, the coolest thing about it is, from the first Legends Fest to what's about to be the third Legends Fest, we've seen artists elevate tremendously since they performed at the first Legends Fest. Like, we've seen that. I've seen artists do their first, like, Legends Fest has been their first festival ever. And fast forward, they've done Jazz Fest. They've done French Quarter Fest. They've done festivals like out of state and stuff like that. They've been nominated for awards and stuff. And of course, you know, we're not gonna take credit for that, but we feel blessed to be a part of the journey. And me as an artist, I know, like, how things can work at times. Sometimes you can't get on those other festivals until you prove that you can do festivals, you know? So when you get footage at Legends Fest and you on a stage like that with a crowd like that, yo, that look good, you know? So it feels good to be able to create a platform that people can feel good about, that artists can utilize that footage to further their careers, that vendors can look and say, yo, we were at Legends Fest, right? We already in. Because funny enough, man, they got a lot of dope vendors. We had a guy who commented on one of my posts the other day. He was like, yo, I've been trying to get in this event for 2 years. I'm gonna try again. And boom, sure enough, he got in this year as a vendor. So it's really dope to see just that want to be a part of it, you know? It's dope to build something like that, man. But I tell you what, you know, I urge you, if you watching this, don't sleep on what's happening right in front of your eyes, because a lot of times we don't recognize history as it's happening. We just are living kind of nonchalantly in the moment. But I want you to really lock in with what's going on, because I'm telling you, we have not even scratched the surface yet. Like, the plans that I've formulated in my head and the things that God has stamped in my heart and in my mind and in my soul and in my spirit, we are not even like at 1%. I'm telling you, the impact that we will make through Legends Fest, beyond the music, beyond the actual festival day itself. Like, the festival is going to continue to elevate, but the impact that we're going to make through the festival, I promise, is going to change things. All we need you to do is buy in, lock in with us, tell somebody about it, spread the word, tell somebody what we got going on, right? You know, if you have the means, make a donation, right? Because you see where it's going. You see what we're doing in the community, right? It's going into good ground, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what's to come. Look, we deal with so many challenges. I personally deal with so many challenges when it comes to this, because you're trying to spearhead something that has very little tenure, you know? You're spearheading something that has very little tenure. And a lot of times, look, when I go and talk to people, they're not trying to hear that, right? Especially a lot of times when I'm talking to, you know, companies or whatever the case may be. Like, a lot of times I have to work extra hard to make sure that people understand what it actually is, right? Because a lot of times people see a young black man, they know you rap, and then you say you got a music festival, they think it's a bunch of foolishness going on, just to be, you know, just to keep it 100. So I be having to work extra hard to make sure that the message is very clear, that what we're doing is not only good for the community, like from the perspective of, oh, we're doing something positive, like we're not just throwing buzzwords around, like we're doing the work, and the work is working. You know, we got case studies and stuff, man, with kids who it was rough. You know, I got a kid just texting me, man, telling me about his business he started, right? Asking me to support, right? And I'm gonna support my guy. You feel me? Because this one of my youngins. This one of my young legends that, you know, kind of came up under me. And I've seen the change in him. I'm gonna support him because I want him to stay on that path, right? Trying different things. That might not be the route that he meant to take, or it may be. But even if it's not the route that he's meant to take, there's something in that journey that's gonna teach him what he needs to know for his ultimate journey. You know, that's what we really doing. Like a lot of times, especially like when people trying to get funding, you know, people, they politicize it, you know? So it's easy to throw buzzwords out and say, yo, we're covering this, you know, we're checking off this, we're checking off this, we're checking off this. We go get some paper, you know, from these companies. But we know how to do that, but we putting in the real work. So it's all about just breaking through, man. But regardless of that, I know the message that God put in me. I know the mission that God got me on. So I don't really be tripping off of none of that. Like I told y'all in the previous video, year 1, like we ain't had no money. Year 2, we had a little bit money. Year 3, like even after winning awards and stuff for the festival, we low-key back to having no money. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I take it as an opportunity to get all the little things right that maybe we haven't gotten right in the past. And as long as the people show up, as long as the people show love, as long as the people spread the word, we're gonna keep growing, we're gonna keep winning. And at some point it's gonna be undeniable what Legends Fest is. Because at the end of the day, you could throw all the buzzwords around, whatever the case may be, but the real work is being done. And this is what legends are made, man. So look, if you are watching this prior to May 10th, 2025, I need to see you at Legends Fest, all right? May 10th, 2025, 29393 Highway 3127, Vacherie, Louisiana. First music festival in the history of St. James Parish. We back at it for the 3-peat. So it's going down, man. Look, much love and many blessings. Stay legendary. I'll see you at Legends Fest. L's up. Mission legendary forever.